Personnel Board for February 10th, 2020, and we do have a quorum. So,
Is this the only copy, because I didn't print it out?
Oh,
Or can I make a copy?
Go ahead. Of the agenda or the minutes?
The agenda.
Yeah, okay.
okay, I just want to look over the minutes.
I can do this. Go, copy.
Mm.
Same thing, I didn't change the date of the meeting.
Well, no, that's.
Oh, you don't
in-
have to, because that's what we
That
get,
was in the meeting.
yeah, we change it afterwards, yeah. Should we change it there, though?
No.
Because we
No.
did say it at that
No.
meeting, right?
No.
So we don't need to, okay. So can I get a motion?
I'll move that we accept the minutes for January 19th, 2020.
Right.
9th, 2020.
2020. I second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, it's passed. Okay. All right, the next thing on the agenda is about the job descriptions. Matt stopped in and said he was on a phone call for insurance, so he might be late or he might not make it. So I'm gonna skip over most of those, because those are the firefighters and things
Mhm.
that he was going to present. So next on the agenda is, okay, all right. Okay, next on the agenda is a template for job descriptions. I'd like you ladies to take a look at these lovely job. What I would wanna focus on is maybe the top template first, okay? And as far as items, and if you look at ours, you can see how ours
I
compare.
like this one, it even tells when the job description is approved.
Okay,
and
yes,
everything.
that's the same, there's
I
a
like
lot of good
that.
information. So I wanna highlight the information that you like, okay?
I like all of it on Barry.
Okay, so Barry, you like it all?
Yeah,
Okay,
it
I'll put
says
it here.
that's
exempt,
Barry.
non-exempt,
Okay,
yeah.
there, okay, and then when it was approved, you like
Yeah.
that part of it
And even
best?
exempt, non-exempt, you know,
Yeah, where they are,
status, their
okay.
contract.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, that's better than this.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is good, but when you see things like that, that's good,
Yeah,
yeah.
really.
I like the boxing though here,
Well, yeah.
each box here, so you like the boxes here?
Yep.
Okay, how do you like this part here? As far
Okay.
job description, you see that? It's very professional. See, this is another one that's similar, Town of Acton.
Yeah, except, you know, I don't like date prepared. I like
Right,
this
okay.
one approved.
Okay, so get rid of that,
Yeah.
say approved. And see, it gives the grade level, which would be our
Right, I like
whatever.
that.
Union, non-union, department, utilities. Okay, see, this one here really,
This one I don't like at all.
okay,
What's
because
this
this one here, it's basically just saying,
Just-
like ours.
It's not
but
like
then-
ours.
Right, like ours, but then it gives you this, but then you don't even know what that date is, because it doesn't tell you what that date is. You know what I'm saying, what's the date
And
for?
I don't care for this one, Wayland.
And then this one here, it really doesn't have anything, it's like ours.
No, I
So
don't
we'll put
like
that
that
aside. And we'll put that aside too. Okay.
And I do like these boxes, like you said.
Yeah, nice.
I think,
I'm gonna say, it's like
yeah.
something like this, which is wide enough,
Right.
you know? So if you have another line down there.
Right.
I just don't like color.
No.
I think that's a waste of money.
Yeah, we don't have to have the town seal
Well,
on it.
it wouldn't be, it would be online all the time.
Yeah, I know, but somebody's gonna print it out, town
Eventually.
printed,
Yeah.
and
Ours is
I
in-
really get upset by
Well, ours is in
colored
black, if you look at
printers.
ours is black and white, there's no
Yeah.
color in it.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying, if you like something like that, which is ours, is black and white. I just think it looks professional, right above it, have the town job description, like this whole setup here, at the top of it.
Yeah, that's fine, black and white, as
Yeah.
long as it's black and white.
It's black and white. Okay, so this one here with bigger boxes for the size,
Yeah, I mean, I don't
Versus
mind the
the-
way this one is.
This is fine with me.
this is
I-
fine?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Okay,
it's not really readable.
okay, so this size boxes. Okay,
And,
and this
Yeah,
one here
just-
really doesn't give you much.
instead of date prepared, put, approved,
Right,
the job description approved.
Yeah, and she's got that there, so.
on here.
yeah.
So we're focusing mostly on this one here.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just take this one out of
What
the
was
way.
the other thing we liked there? Oh, exempt and non-exempt.
Right here.
Yeah, but
Union,
then,
non-union.
yeah, but
Yeah.
it says exempt, non-exempt, and then it says status exempt NA. Isn't that not applicable? Something so.
Well, we know, if you wanna put
Well,
something
you
that
know-
we do have,
The good thing, the one, where did it say?
Well, it's salary.
Contract, you could put contract.
Yeah, and you know what is a salary and what's a, and hourly is non-exempt,
so this one
right?
has grade level, okay, which would be like our grade levels per se. So if it says grade level, we could just put contract there for grade level, so keep with grade level here versus grade classification, or you put grade classification, what do you, like, cause we do,
Well,
Yeah.
contract isn't for all the salaried people, although I think they're trying to do it that way. So,
Oh, he made a statement last week that all the people that could be put on contract have been, I think. I think he said there was no one else.
okay, but there are other people that are salaried as opposed to,
Right.
having a contract.
Right. So maybe we want salaried, non-salaried, and contract,
Yeah,
those three.
okay, so if we go,
well, or, Hourly.
Contract would be salaried, right?
right,
Yeah.
and then hourly wage.
Right, so hourly and salaried.
okay, so add over here hourly and salary, like
Yeah.
in between grade level, so if we put like a grade, PW or something, that's the grade level, and then you'd have salary.
Or you could even put H or S or whatever.
Okay, so then just add a line in here, saying, salary, salary.
Well, it's wages, or hourly wage.
Hourly, okay, the
Um,
right term.
Because I don't think a lot of people understand that distinction.
Well, see, right here, union, non-union, we only take care of non-union, so that really isn't applicable. So I could get rid of
Yeah,
that.
but then they could use it for the union ones, like for the police department.
Mhm.
And, is that the only union place in here? Fire.
Fire.
Yeah, fire and,
Okay, so leave this union?
yeah.
Okay.
You know, if you
Alrighty.
run out of room, you can even put one more line of
Oh, yeah,
boxes,
that's what I'm saying, as far as like what we keep adding
Right.
here. And- Okay, so I wanted to work on the top template first and take a look and see where we agree, and then
Okay.
run it by
Mhm.
Matt.
Okay.
Okay, does that sound pretty good to you?
Yeah, good,
Okay,
good.
tell us everything right off the bat. So I brought this big book for nothing, huh?
No, you didn't. Don't think you. I'm not gonna have you work for nothing. Okay, reviews, we'll have to wait for Matt. Okay, where were we doing here? Human reviews. Okay, I'm gonna give you what I have here. And we'll run over it. I have maps. Okay. This was the one that was online.
Okay, so it says approved in 2012.
Right. Even though they
Yeah.
wrote it up and said, but it didn't have anything about the advisor thing, that's what threw me off.
Mhm.
The date was wrong. So I looked up this old one that I had here, that Mike had given us. And I said, well, this is in between everything that we're talking about, this is basically what we were gonna accept as far as what he was talking about, personnel board versus,
Advisory service.
advisory thing. So, this one.
So you didn't get the brand new one that we just passed at town meeting?
That's what I was starting to explain.
Oh.
I ended up finding in my folder one that said at the bottom here, proposed, and then it had May 7th, right? And then it said 2017. So I ended up showing that one and making copies, which are here. So, like I said, this one here is one we were gonna edit, cause I got all my edits in the one that I had.
Mhm.
Okay, so this was from, like, Mike's, but this was the one we were editing, but the edits weren't there for some reason. Okay, this is the one that I brought to the meeting where it said proposed, right, May
Oh.
7th.
On 2019, though.
It's right,
Yeah.
2019,
Okay.
and that's exactly what it said. I pulled it up, I printed one copy for myself, and then I came here and I wanted to make 2 more copies.
Oh, thank you.
So, so after I got through, the, what do you call it? After I got through the copies, I looked at it and I'm like, this isn't correct, because it doesn't have advisory,
Right.
right?
It does down here.
This one.
Number
This
2.
one says advisory.
I'm sorry, this is the one that was new. This one here didn't have advisory. This one, I'm sorry, this one back here. Messed up a little bit. Okay, this is what I was looking for here, and it
Yeah.
didn't have advisory. So then I went through my paperwork, came here, made copies of what I had, which you have now. And I said, this is the one that we were working on, because I compared it to my dated one that was online here, and I see all the corrections that we were working on here, see all these notes and stuff.
Yep.
So I said, well, wait, this is the one we were working on, I couldn't find that, but anyways, so, so they, so what happened is, this one ended up getting, okay, this one ended up here, I'm gonna go through this now. Okay, what happened was, this one ended up getting linked, fixed, right here, May 7th, whatever. See, the date is May 7th, it should be
Yeah.
May 6th. Okay, so the information that I had, I looked up on the computer and they said, oh, this is where it goes, so that's what was updated. But it's still was incorrect because of the date, it should have been May 6th.
Okay.
Okay, so then I was a little bit upset because I was like, well, you know, I've got this and I've got that, and I think it's this. So I turned around and, if you look here, May 7th. So that's what I pulled up. They fixed it to pull it up, but it still said May 6th. So I put a note here, that's the link. And I wanted to show, you get your paper?
Yeah, but it's just,
No, you don't. Oh, here it is, wait,
Oh,
okay, I'm sorry. What do you want to do?
I was just looking to see what I had for my last,
Bioweapon?
yeah. I guess I don't have it.
no, because it was being held by the town clerk's office,
Right.
and so nobody ever saw it. And I don't know if it's in the town report, because the town report hasn't come out for 2019 yet.
All right.
So I don't know if it would be in there since.
See, my understanding of that was the one that was approved,
Yeah,
to change the administrator and stuff like that.
yeah, no, that's true, but we didn't get to read it in the voter
Complete, yeah.
Yeah.
information
No,
thing.
Right.
They just said it's on file at the town clerk's office, and that bugged me more than anything, and that we didn't really have a,
You didn't know what you were talking about, and they didn't present it at the town
As
meeting.
well as,
No.
yeah.
no,
that's
and then
just
you
a-
just had my wonderful comments, and, which
Yeah.
was explained away as it's very important to have the community input.
Yes, it is. So, anyways,
And that the public hearing was at the selectmen's meeting, so therefore it didn't, that was it. That's what that's the
Right,
answer I got.
yes, I remember that.
so my concern was, so that's why I wrote this here, it's like the personnel board, okay? Subject, the top, document control, homepage information. Because see, I was concerned where I went to the homepage and it says approved May 7th, which the date should have been the 6th. And somebody added all that information. Remember it used to just say, personnel bylaw?
Mm-hmm.
Douglas personnel bylaw.
Mhm.
It's like, why are they adding that information if it's the current document? So I was concerned over that because where's the control,
Mm.
okay? So what I did is, over here, I noticed right there where it says view, see it says view, 447? Okay. So I pulled up the
yeah.
document, 447. Okay, I pulled up the document and sure enough it did say the 7th. So that's not the correct date, so that needed to be fixed. Okay. So then I proceeded over to find out what is going on. And I ended up coming to this page here, which I found trying to find where is the personnel bylaw, okay? And there was 3 places where it was. It was under the selectmen's, and it's a few pages back here. Let me see. Okay, here, under the selectmen, it's
Nope,
right
I
here.
forgot what you said, you went to documents?
Right, but that's what I
'Cause
found.
I went to forms, but I didn't get all this.
Right, so under here, for the selectmen, right, it has our thing, and it says here, May 7th, 2012. See, that was the one that was there, what was put in the system with the date of 2012. Remember the one over here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
no, yeah,
So I
it's
pulled
something's
that,
not
so I
good.
pulled that up,
Yeah.
right? And then, sure enough, it's the one with the minor corrections, et cetera, but it said 2012 here, May 7th at the top, and then July, whatever, 15th. Okay, so, getting back over here. So what I did was, I was trying to say, well, where else in here is it? So I found a section when I was trying to find where else, and I found this section here, right there. See where that says?
View 1573.
Right,
Yeah.
1573, okay?
That's on the second page.
Second page,
Okay.
I'm sorry. Second page, 1573, right up here,
Mhm.
right. So 1573, personal bylaw says May 6th, which is right, 2019. I was like, all right, we got a good one. But then it pulled up the one that I had given them, which was May 7th. Okay, so then I said, what the heck? So that was under, see, it says town meeting information.
Mhm.
Okay, so I looked at this lovely format and I was saying, this is wonderful, look at this, document center with all these great documents. So, I said, man, here we are down here, which is further down, right, is the personnel board. Go 2 pages over. Over here is the personnel board, I'm sorry, under selectmen was policies and procedures, and it has the bylaw, May 7th, 2012. So that was from the selectmen, homepage, okay? So that selectmen homepage is right here, under policies and procedures. So I said, okay, that's nice. And so then I said, well, what does that come up as? And it was, again, the same thing. So I said, okay, the homepage for the selectmen is linked in that document center to policies and procedures, and that says the 12th plus the 2012, 2015. So that one is that particular policy.
Mhm.
Okay, so let me go to the personnel board on this list and come over to, okay, policy, I'm sorry, where are we here? Bylaw at the top here, May 7th, 2019, okay? And sure enough, that was the same one that we had, May 7th, 2019. And if you look at the view, it's 447, okay? This one here is 258, 258, 2447, and the other one was it 1380,
No, it was,
447. Okay, and 1573. Alright. Okay, we'll start over.
You don't have to start over.
Yeah.
I escaped.
They're
I
confused.
escaped for the time.
Well, you know, just to do it quick, I think it's the very smart lawyer's fault.
I don't know about
He
that.
should have reviewed it, not him,
Oh.
the handsome one. But
Yeah.
Someone.
Wow,
No,
okay.
no, sorry.
Oh, he's leaving again, okay. Ah.
What is his
I
name?
can't remember.
Who's your labor lawyer?
Brian Mazer.
Yeah,
Brian Mazer.
the handsome one, yeah. I think he should have been more responsible in all of this, and that he could clear it up pretty quick. And you could clear up your website. because
Yeah,
it's
well,
that-
that's what we were discussing at the
Oh,
last,
Is this the
last meeting.
version control around the
Yes,
bylaw?
yes. So what I was is I was trying to figure out what was going on, and I had come here because I had what we were working on last time, and it said proposed, and it had a May 7th. And it ended up getting approved, but was May 6th.
Hmm.
So those two things should have been fixed in the file and then linked to the system. So when I came back and they were fixing it, I went to our homepage again, and it said May 7th, but they had put approved. I was like, okay, we're half right. But where else do we have this information? So if you want to start over again here, you'll have to flip yours. So on the personnel, okay, homepage, okay, you see it says May 7th. And like I said, I pulled it up, and it's on the bottom of the page. It says May 7th, okay? But notice the view, 447, which is halfway in the page. See it says view 447?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, go to the next page. What I was doing is I was looking around trying to find out what are the documents that say that, and I found this thing that was a document center, which is great. And I have view number 1573, and it says May 6th, right date, 2019.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the old one down at the bottom of the page, okay? And it says proposed, and it should have said approved, okay? So, I went on to the selectmen section, and they have a section that I found, and it has, under policies and procedures, and it has the Douglas bylaws, approved May 7th, 2012. So, I was like, okay, so I called that up, and it was the one that Ellie had found, 2012, with the punctuations, and it was that particular one. So,
So that's the policies and procedures.
No bylaw.
It was the bylaw.
It's the bylaw
Yeah.
Bylaws. I got up at town meeting.
on this page?
I know, because I went to their green sheet here, and the only thing they have is policies and procedures. That's why it says that.
Oh, so you
Okay.
clicked on policies
clicked
and
on-
procedures and you
and
got the
this-
bylaw?
Well, this comes up, right, under policies and procedures, Douglas bylaw, May 7th, 2012. Okay? Are we at the same?
Oh, I see that,
Okay.
but that's the heading. But what document came up?
The document was the incorrect document again, for the 2012, May 7th, with the minor corrections. That was the original one Ellie had found.
So it's in multiple places and it's wrong.
Right, so now, if you look below that, you have view number 258, right, personal bylaws under policy and procedures, so I said, oh, that is the link from the, see this lovely page here, are you on this page yet?
You got a number of these pages too, so.
I know.
Oh, that's why I stapled them, but
I
anyways.
think I am.
Okay, so if you come under the view here,
Yeah.
okay, personnel bylaw here, I think this policy procedure view, because it comes from Board of Selectmen, is the exact thing from here, okay? So that's view, okay, 447 now, okay? So my next page here, and then I pulled it up, and of course it said the 12, which was incorrect. So I looked under under the document center, okay? Now, the document center, I couldn't get to the document center. I looked everywhere on the homepage, like, where do you get to this document center? I just finally decided I will edit the address and just type document center. And this popped up, which was great. I was like, okay, I can verify this and verify that. And then I turned around and I pulled up from the personnel board 258, and it was like 447. So if you look at the last thing, next to the last page.
Oh,
okay.
no.
Wait, next to the last page, I know it gets confusing, because there's like so many different documents, so what I did reference is that if you look at, like this state as an example, they don't have, like a link to your guide per se, they just say guide, you know what I'm saying? They don't have a guide approved to such and such, okay, they just have the guide. So, in number 2, if you notice our links, we have 447, 258, and 1573. So we have 3 different links, 3 different dates, and basically, I'd say 2 different documents, because one of them is right, except the date's wrong at this section here. So, what I said was,
Last page?
last page. I know, finally. Okay, what I said was, how can this process and documentation system be improved, okay? And I would say, once the document's approved, right, you could edit the footer from proposed to approved. Then edit the date of the footer on the date that the annual town meeting is. And then next, save that file, okay, in your archive, right, as the Douglas Personnel Bylaws approved and the date. That way there would be always, if you sorted it, you know what I'm saying, you'd always come, like descending, ascending, you'd always have the latest one at the top. But also go next and rename it into your internal drive, right, and create something like a homepage link that would just say Douglas Personnel Bylaw. That's it. You don't need the date. You don't need to go back in the homepage every time you turn around and edit dates, edit approved and all that. You're just gonna link that. So then when you turn around and save it in that link file, that would be the file, the only file that you would send to the person that's gonna attach it. Then you would decide where you would attach it. Okay?
Do you need to put in the little dashes, Douglas dash personnel dash bylaws?
That's the way it was set up, and if they're saving and archiving in that particular way, I would keep with it, because to me, there's, you know, versus space versus whatever. If they want dashes, you know what I'm saying, if you've got,
Yeah, it's gonna make it so you find an
consistent,
exact match.
right, consistent, and if you do ascending, descending, it'll always sort by the date, so if you have it exactly
But
like
you
that.
could just type in personnel as a search.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So, so then I had suggested just put one in the document control section, right, under the personnel bylaw, and remove all the other views, but attach that particular view to any other place that you decide to put it. Okay, and the only other thing, was I just explaining how it doesn't need to be updated, where you, all these things here with the extra information, you don't need it anymore, it makes it simple, makes it easy, just one word. And then I just added a note that what I would do is, that document center, if you look at that, I would set up a page, I'm sorry, a link, right? On the government homepage, which I don't have, your, like under administration, and it would basically say, document center, and it goes right there, and you get all these nice little folders, and you say, oh, look at that, I don't have to go back, I don't have to go forth, or whatever, I'm right there where all the documents are. So, it's just a suggestion, like I said, with. Any comments, questions?
I'm gonna hire you to do my genealogical research.
Oh, I did
You
my
make sure, and we're not gonna miss a single one of those Frenchmen with the funny E's at the end. You'll find it. No, that's all helpful. I think
I hope so.
the website is still a learning process. It is an upgrade. I feel it is. It's much more user friendly than the old format. And Mitch did a great job with what he had available at the time, and it's come a long way since then. But we found that we have different versions of the same document.
Right,
And
that's what I say, you've got to organize
each
it.
board and committee did its own website, then we have other master links that, because if something they're working on is very important, it's on a townwide, and they're not always necessarily the same. So we've been cleaning up as we go along.
Mm-hmm.
There are members of the public that have been assiduous in pointing out all
Okay.
of the little areas we can improve, which is fine, it's perfect.
Mm.
That's what you want.
Yeah, that's why I thought
Yeah.
we would be helpful trying to straighten out what we see for our issues, okay?
But we now have the version that we're all supposed to have, right?
Yes.
Except the date,
Except for the date.
yes.
Right.
We'll fix that.
And then if they can clean up the links and get rid of those,
Yeah.
that would update everything that's in the system,
Yeah.
okay?
All
I'd
right.
appreciate that.
So this has highlighting in it, is this the one that you were?
That's the one that should be going online and fixing
Well-
the date. It should be the May sixth.
Yeah, but it says May 9th.
Yeah, why did you put May 9th?
Because that's what they put,
Oh,
okay? I originally put this, proposed for May 9th meeting, and then when I found out later that the meeting was the 6th, I was like, oh, okay, it has to be the 6th.
Okay.
So like I said, that was from my folder and what we were, gonna work on in the
In
proposal.
our defense, a 9 is an upside down 6.
Of course it is. Oh,
Well, I think you should get Brian to fix all of this, the personnel stuff, for free, since it, yeah, why not? I mean,
Well-
make him earn his keep.
well, if someone gave him, like you said, gave him the information, said, this is the information on my page, and then somebody else gave him the information for our page, and
Yeah, but
It's
then
not-
he's bringing it back to the selectmen and saying, here's the correct bylaw, which none of us got to review. That was another irking thing, obviously, for me, of, that it wasn't in the finance committee's, mailing out. None of us saw it. It just
Hmm.
said on file at the town clerk's office. And who's gonna come down and look at it? So, that was, we couldn't do anything with it that way.
Mm.
But nobody else asked any questions, so.
what you missed, when we started to do is, we're gonna start on a template, a template.
You're throwing things at me.
I know, a template for the town, job descriptions. So we're making notes of certain things that we like on certain forms and stuff like that. So we thought we'd present that maybe next time, and we'll have a little thing in black and white, so that it's not color.
Yeah, 'cause I don't like color.
So that it's like information that's helpful to us, and then you can review it and see what you wanna add or subtract, and then from there proceed to the other stuff that we need, okay? Sound good? And then, let's see here. Okay. So. Okay, did you have any luck with the, jobs? That was the.
So we're starting to.
Starting,
So go through the track record on this. The focus of attention was Adam Furno's position.
Right.
Because at one time he was facilities manager and he was an employee at Highway. That was how how he was getting paid, and those were his jobs. There was no job description for the municipal facilities manager responsibilities. So the first thing we did was write this and approve this through the Board of Selectmen. And that's at the middle of December in 2018. So it's a copy for
Okay,
everyone.
thank you.
After that was approved and his job was clarified, the question I had for the finance director and everybody else was, I am not comfortable with this position yet, because as a department head for facilities management, he was being compensated on the management table. As a highway as a highway worker, he was being compensated on the hourly chart, because he was an hourly worker. That's really not best practice, because as a management employee, he's exempt from the Fair Labor Standards Act. As an hourly employee, his overtime kicks in automatically at 40 hours, because he's not a firefighter, he's not a police officer. So that was troublesome. So that's why And I didn't write a job description for the working foreman yet. That's what I have to
Wait,
do.
mhm.
I have to consolidate this with his responsibilities at Highway, which are working foreman. So he is, when John's not at a site, if Adam's at the site, he's the person in charge of that site. And his OSHA responsibility. So Adam is not only the OSHA contact person for Highway, he's the OSHA contact person for the entire town. So he's
Are you writing this job description for the person or for the
for
position?
the position. Because we don't anticipate hiring a facilities manager. That was the original conversation when we first prepared, when I prepared my first budget. The request was make that position a full-time position and then backfill at the Highway. But we couldn't afford it. It
Yeah.
doesn't make sense to. It makes sense if you think about it. Most of the time, the people who need OSHA oversight and involvement are the people at Highway because they're working outside almost every day.
Right.
Mhm.
So that working foreman, if he's also the OSHA guy for the whole town, by virtue of his job, he's on site every time they're in the hole in the ground or working with equipment or whatnot. So it kind of made sense to put those two things together. In facilities management, he's responsible for because we don't have any other option right now but to do that.
You know, I did have a job description from 2012. It was
What's that?
called Municipal Facilities Maintenance Manager.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I
that was
updated that
Ricky.
with this.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a different
That was-
person.
Yeah,
we had a lot of problems with that one.
yeah.
Yeah. This kind of addressed a lot of
Yeah.
those issues. And we added some physical requirements in order to protect the town, if the person's unable to do the physical aspects of the job. You have to be able to. If you're gonna put salt out in these, you have to be able to pick up a bag of salt.
Oh, yeah.
So, that's where we are with that. I don't anticipate that the working foreman job description is gonna be really difficult to do, given that we already have job descriptions for all of the highway guys.
Mhm.
So we're just gonna be improving on that, adding to it. So I should have that for your next meeting, but I found this one, and I found the memo that went to the Board of Selectmen to change the working arrangement so that he appears entirely now on the highway budget.
Mhm.
That, you'll see the change in the budget, personnel side, where we don't, all the money that was for compensation for facilities management went away except for Ricky,
Mhm.
and it all went over to highway. But it was a net change there. Well, it wasn't net, it was a one for one person going to another person. On the wage survey, I'm still interacting with my dear friends at MMHR. As a dues paying member, I would like access to the database.
Data.
And I'm still working on that. We exchange a lot of information, we being the personnel managers for the different towns. But I don't want to give it to you piecemeal, I would rather just print the whole thing out. It is one document, somebody that's maintained.
Oh, good.
But there's been lots of questions lately, town engineers, police chiefs, there's been a lot of conversation about current salary information, so we'll have to update it as well. There was one other item that you were waiting for me.
The fire, anything with the fire at all?
So
or
we are
paramedics?
researching other, we started with Worcester County Fire Departments, trying to get all the call information. Well, what I'm very curious about, and we need more responses, right now we only have 2 or 3, is the treatment of a call captain, salary-wise, versus a ranked officer who's a full-time. What's that relationship? Because we've always presumed that we would pay call people less,
Mhm.
but that structure still has to tie back to something,
Mhm.
because rank is rank. And if you give
Right.
somebody those roles, then there needs to be that understanding. You're not gonna pay a call captain significantly less than you would pay a first-year firefighter who doesn't have the rank or the training or the experience. So that's kind of where we need to engage with this. Step one, of course, is we're gonna get all the information from the other towns. We'd like to have towns that are configured similarly to us, and put all that in one place and then look at the budget ramifications before we go too far with it. But those are the principal areas of inquiry. How do you deal with rank, and what is the actual rate? And we need that in place for the budget, so that we'll be getting back to you.
Okay, your employee reviews are coming along pretty good? Is it
So I got a couple of packages this week. So yeah, I'm coming along.
Good.
I'm trying to remember who did theirs.
Librarian, or the library trustees.
Library's done.
Yeah.
Was it cable? I'm looking at cable. No?
Mhm.
Oh, jeez, I just read them all too. Oh, Board of Health. So that was all the transfer station employees, the inspectors, and the office staff. So we got those two out of the way. Fire, generally, I expect to see in May, because there are stipend
Mhm.
positions that by contract are appointed in May. So they get their reviews in May
Okay,
to match up with
that's
that.
a good know. Because I know we had proposed November was the date.
Well, just so you
Yeah.
would know for,
Yeah.
Budgeting.
We tied those positions in the contract to the fiscal year, because so much of the compensation is tied to the fiscal year. We just tied it all together.
yeah, but it sounds like, I mean, because when we had power, we would recommend for step raises and COLAs, which I didn't like that term. And, but you have that power now, we don't, so, I guess we don't care when they get reviewed, do we?
Well, it
Yeah.
We
assumes
kinda
that's
sorta
something,
do, I
yeah.
mean,
It's important to have it where it's.
We're-
It should be
a certain-
uniform.
Right.
Yeah, it
It's
should
like
be.
what they do.
what we should be doing is making sure that every employee is evaluated once a
Right,
year.
right.
Yeah.
That's the
Cool.
critical
Yeah.
thing, which
Mm.
wasn't happening and does happen now.
Mhm.
So that's where we are. Last year I got to more than half of the department heads. I've got contract renewals with the ones I didn't get to, so I've got another hook
Mhm.
to get them evaluated. So that's where we are.
But it's not, wages don't seem to be dependent upon review.
No, I mean, we are, a couple of things. We don't have a lot of employees. So, everybody's doing a lot of work. Secondly, many of our employees are already at the top step, so there isn't opportunity to award them any more than they're already getting. So those two things together are primarily. We've done one grade change that was in the town budget, and that was for a position. I explained that last time, the building officials. But, yeah, when everybody's at the very, very top,
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what we
it's
were.
more than half.
If you don't mind, I was gonna skip to self-evaluations, which we'll go into later, but when we were doing self-evaluation, we were trying to understand how they felt as far as did they think they were rated properly. And we had found, like, we just basically,
So the position was rated properly for your scoring
When they,
purposes?
the way we rated them compared to the way they rated
rate
themselves.
themselves. And what we had.
Their individual performance or the requirements of the job?
Requirements of the
Job.
job.
Have it, some other thing. But anyways, what we were looking at is to pick a couple of them that were such a disparity, like they rated themselves, it should have been 60, and we rated like 40 or 20 or something like that. And to look at those areas, and when we focused on those areas, it was basically experience and judgment and initiative. Those are areas that were like, whoa, there's a big difference there. So, I mean, the first ones we were gonna go through is like, okay, what is in their job description that we're not seeing? So that way there, if we could review their job description and say, the person that wrote it up, how many years ago, we don't
Mm.
know, and review the job description, that's why our focus was gonna be on job descriptions. What do we need to see in the job description that's not there, that they are doing,
Mhm.
okay? So that was the list, item on our list, so, but and if we continue with, we did the bylaws. The manual, the status of that. Now, I know it was updated at some point, the policies and procedures manual, and we were doing a lot of work on that as far as between just adding things and stuff like that. And I was wondering, we were gonna look at to you as far as getting other manuals to see what they said, how they were set up. But I was thinking in the meantime, if we take what we've been working on and try to get at least a portion of it accepted,
Mhm.
because it's 85 pages. So,
Yeah, I would agree with that, so don't waste the work you've already done, let's get something out of it, for sure.
you know,
Um,
so what I figured to do is start like typing up what we have in there and then present it in sections at the meeting, and if you agree, fine, and then present it to the lawyer or whatever and say, okay, pages 1 through 40, fine, we can accept that, you know?
yeah,
And then continue from there if there's any other changes. You agree?
Yes.
Fine? Okay, we'll continue with that. And the content, the titles and those particular things, what you had given us last time.
yeah, so how do
Which I
those
think is
titles
great.
compare to,
Right, which are not titles, they're people, so we can work on that to fix our chart and then review our chart with you again, because I'd like to get this whole thing straightened out as far as it's,
yeah, it needs to tie to the comp table, there needs to be a clear,
right, what it is, and like even the job titles, I mean, I listened to, it was a presentation at one of the town meetings, not town meetings, it was selectmen? Well, anyways, the introduction was, they actually used, what was that? It was financial, it was financial director, town accountant, that's how they introduced themselves, which is fine, I'll add that, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Tell me what you wanna call them, but then we'll add it to the job description to make sure it says that.
Mhm.
That's all I'm asking for, is like, make sure that they are, title-wise, is what we have, and then the job description describes that, okay? So, this is very helpful, so at least get me into the grades and stuff like that, so we could start transforming that. Okay, so. That's
to
about
that
all I
end, let
have.
me just say that the highway superintendent has requested, and his budget includes, he was gonna hire a new hire at a PM1, step 1, and he's asked to be able to hire at PM2, step 1. The reason being just to be a little bit more competitive, which I get, because we had one person sign up, he worked for us for a week and then decided he'd rather go shoe horses. So whatever, that was that.
So
So it's
what
still
is that
vacant.
position called? I mean, because
That's laborer,
just a laborer?
laborer driver, which I don't, to be honest, to me, a laborer has always
It's a
been,
PM two.
it's gonna be
It is,
entry at PM2, step 1.
yeah, so we have PM two. So he was gonna enter a higher PM three.
Lower,
Oh, lower.
Oh,
yeah,
PM1.
we had advertised it at PM1, yeah.
Oh.
Wow, good for you.
No, but we don't have it
You don't have
filled.
anybody.
We don't have it filled, it's been in the budget for a couple of years now.
Mm.
But wasn't there a
What I don't like
reason-
about the title is that you have to have a valid hoisting license and a CDL, which, in the
CDL?
world, commercial driver's license.
Well,
So run trucks with air brakes. And
oh, air brakes, okay, because I was gonna say,
in the construction trades, a laborer doesn't have those skills.
Right.
So I don't like that confusion.
well, if you separate truck driver, you put just labor, add a,
So we
Separate labor.
require, they all have to have CDL and
oh,
hoisting
they all,
license, yeah.
okay. Okay.
Which these days,
Mm.
getting somebody who can keep their CDL in good standing isn't that easy.
True. Very true.
Here we are, the cutting edge in Massachusetts.
So does,
They'll let you do whatever you want to, even if it blows up your federal certification. Anyway,
most municipalities pay for the CDL license, or
good
do-
question. I don't know if I'm comfortable saying most.
Yeah,
I would say that it's definitely a practice.
yeah. Because that might be a lure to
Mm.
anybody.
Yeah, I think we reimburse when they have to go for their,
The hoisting license we reimburse. I know I've signed that warrant. CDL, I have it. Don't think I have it. They usually have it when well, I haven't hired anybody, and all the other guys have it, so.
Oh, this is, I was looking for earlier. This is, supervisor, if you look at, right there, green is how they self-evaluate.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and this is what we.
I think you've
rated.
shown this to me before.
Yeah,
This is
right.
pretty
That's
big gap.
good.
Yeah, so, like I said, those are the ones we're gonna focus on, just to let you know that that's how we're tracking it, see how it comes along. And, anything else? No?
Nope.
No. Okay, so,
So for next
We'll
time,
work
we should
on
have
that.
this married up to the rest of it.
okay,
Good.
sounds
Alright.
good. And you get a link on your page for document center?
Or
When I hand this off to the person who's going to now go through it.
Do you want me to email it?
Brian.
Not Brian.
Do you want me to email it to you?
She
No,
just
this
wants
is good.
Brian to come
Okay.
back to our meeting.
I don't think he'll ever come back. So we were
gave
really
him a hard
pretty
time.
bad.
He's a tough cookie, he can take it.
They were silent for, what, 5 years, I think, after meeting with us. They did not like us at all, so. And so then, maybe we caused, Mike Kaczynski to take another job just because of dealing with those personnel people.
I'm not that bad, come on now.
You know, my problem with the personnel bylaw, for one thing, is that it says we have 5 members. We've never
Never.
been able to get 5
It's
members.
difficult in town to get volunteers, you know, and now the taxes go up, it's like the seniors in town, what I've been hearing is like the taxes are going up and it's eventually, you're not gonna have a lot of senior volunteers, it's a shame. And all you could do is change times, like 3 o'clock's not a bad time for people that have kids in high school to get out too, but for people to get out at 3, for the elementary, it's not a good time, because that's when they get out,
Mhm.
you know, so it's like trying to weigh what hours.
Mm.
So, I mean, if you wanna change the time.
I mean,
we can
that's
talk
why I
about
was
it.
late, because I had to make sure Dawn was home before the
Right.
bus came.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, it's like, you're trying to weigh those times, I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
So-
but I mean, also, I mean, you've brought it up before, and I can't remember what committee you were talking about, but it might have been buildings and facilities. Is it really necessary? And it's an all-volunteer advisory board. The same thing with finance is advisory board. It doesn't really have any powers. I mean, the town that I worked in, they were very powerful, but they aren't here. You know, so
Our
what's.
finance used to be.
And what, I mean, you could have us on, 3 of us, good volunteers here, on other committees. You know, the buildings and facilities, because the last selectmen's meeting, there was, John Furno and Adam Furno. And I thought the purpose of people going to talk to the selectmen about their budgets was their operating budgets, and all they talked about was capital.
Hmm.
So what's the point of capital if, you know, I know there are bylaws in place, but you're good at getting buy-in to.
Yeah, the board, you
that.
know, I don't, since the board of selectmen doesn't really have a lot of say in the capital budget, I don't mind them getting an update from the people who have to deal with the problems. Because that drives part of the operating budget. If the building is older and I want to spend more time in it, that's why I'm spending more time in it.
But all I'm trying to say is there
Yeah, I know.
are several committees around that take a lot of volunteers, and in turn, it's hard to schedule meetings for them, because some work
Yeah.
and some
Yeah.
don't, you know?
I'm a bigger fan, when it comes to buildings, I'm a bigger fan of having small ad hoc committees of people who know that building or who know that function involved, rather than have one committee that tries to do all of them. Because some people will know, because of their career history or whatever, will know more about school buildings. Typically, when we do a school building, we have a building committee anyway. That's usually to do procurement or to help out picking things. But on a regular maintenance basis, no.
And that's why they set it up, because thinking, oh, well, this is gonna save money for, like, if the library ever gets going, that these are all experienced people, and you look at the people on there, and there's not that many experienced people.
No, that's
you
my
know.
problem, is that as a general committee, you're missing that. You're asking a volunteer to come once a month to a meeting that may be about any number of buildings, one of which they care deeply about and the others that they don't.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's not a good use of time. I'm still thinking that one through. Another thing is some of these committees predated the Administrator Act. Again, going back to that theme.
Mhm.
When my
Yeah,
predecessor's job was executive administrator, the Board of Selectmen was the procurement officer and had the procurement authority. They determined that they wanted another board to advise them along with the executive administrator. It's not that way anymore, so when the act got passed and the state did its modernization and they created chief procurement officer and that person is the town administrator, I go to all the training for all the procurement processes
Yeah.
used for buildings. If I have a question or I need a template, I ask the town engineer, who has the stuff. So the two of us get a lot done. Having said that, there are members of the building facilities that give us a tremendous amount of helpful information. And on the ground, hands-on, no, they didn't do that right. So I'm trying to figure out how to put all this together and do the best for the town without asking people to come to a 2-hour meeting every month, because
Yeah.
it's.
And it also just puts a immediate delay on anything anybody wants to do.
Well, you're absolutely right. So if I had to wait 3 weeks to get someone's approval to put something in the paper that had to sit there for a month,
Yeah,
I've taken a 1-month project, made it 2.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
But I thought, what was the name of that committee? I think Lisa was the chair of it, Lisa Mazinski. And it was a government study committee or something like that, remember? And that's where the whole town administrator stuff came out of. And I think that's also where the building and facilities and maybe even capital came out of that.
probably finance director came out of it too.
And so that's, you know, that was all at the same time, and, you know, it's, you know, I don't know if it was unanimously voted on at whatever, but, so, that's a, you know, another thought to go back there and look at their meeting minutes and stuff, and, or talk to some of them.
Mm.
They'll probably be pro whatever they suggested, so, yeah. But anyway,
All right,
okay, good.
Well, thank you.
thank you. I'll be polite and wait for your motion to adjourn unless you're gonna.
Are we done?
okay.
Are you done?
Yeah, I skipped to the remember?
Yeah, you
Self-
did.
Self-evaluations,
Yeah.
but we're still gonna work on those.
All right.
So, and it's a big book.
So I'm being
So
excused?
you're all set.
All right, thank
Yes,
you.
thank you.
Got nowhere to throw paper clips at, and I'll take my ugly self and go
Yeah,
somewhere else.
yeah,
Okay.
no. Well, just ask for pointers from Brian.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we can get on with the, let's see if we can get through this. Let me see if I can find my chart now.
So it's a colorful one,
Yeah, it's the one that you see all the time that,
this one.
yes. Oh, we could use that one. We could, yeah. It's just the green line is not, okay.
This is it.
Yeah.
You can, yeah, self-evaluations. So there's a column over here for grades. Does it say grades? No. It says class. What are we-
1/9/2020.
Hmm?
You don't have the same date as me.
Oh.
You have 1/9/2020.
Probably because I printed it up for you and I had my old one there. There's no changes from the time I printed it up because we hadn't really discussed it.
Yeah, that first one, Jean and Mike made me meet with them. And they said that if we followed through on that particular grade increase,
Mm-hmm.
they were not happy with it. And so that's why it never went up.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it was like,
So let's just, over here, I'm not sure, because it's in yellow, and it says 275. I
Mhm.
think that's when it had, confidential data, okay? So what I'm gonna do is, if we could start with the town administrative assistant, right? And, okay, so as we're looking at it, okay, would you say between the differences between judgment, initiative, and supervision required, and I have interpersonal relation skills. Those 3 items there, I see where there's a
So big,
disparity.
big
Yeah.
difference.
Yes.
More than one leap.
I'm sure I've got the most.
I'd have to see how much, you know what I'm saying, it's like, I'd have to see how much a beep is.
No, on my end,
Hmm?
on my end, this is the rating I have.
220? So yeah, it's interesting.
And that's the latest one I've got, yeah. As far as I know.
Let's see if I can find,
I think all of it in here is what I've got. I should have brought my little computer and my computer here, because I know the latest of everything is in here. I thought
And you have it as 220?
it was 220, 803.
Oh, no, it was A05
Okay. I don't know
or
why.
085.
okay, let's,
It has to be a newer one then.
Because the 086 went up. There was no such thing as 086.
Well, that's way back from 2014.
Yeah.
It has to be something newer.
okay. Well, this is the one that I have.
Let me just make sure, executive administrator, so that would have been Mike, and that was 600. We rated him. And it was the highest score.
Okay, now according to this one here,
Yes, oh, no.
it's a A05. Okay, this is Mike gave us this one, remember last week?
Or
Remember
Matt
that?
did?
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay, so here it is 085, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so. I'm gonna change that to 085.
But what's the number on it?
No, there's
Well,
no
I have,
number there.
if you look at the position worksheet, see how it says 265? Let me see what the, oh, hold on, manual says here.
Oh, okay, so then that would be not, well, I don't know.
Okay. This is the manual here.
Well, no, it says 086,
Oh, okay, wait a minute.
it's
This is-
275 to 299.
That-
This is 2008. Okay, 2008, I had it 085, 265. But
It says-
then 2014,
Was that the self-evaluation?
no, that's
Okay,
okay.
I think when I put it in red,
Yeah,
I think that's, when I put over there, it says 275 to 299 because that's a qualifier for 086.
which it doesn't exist.
Right, so that was probably here, I have 085, the number for that is 250 to 274. So that would be in the range of the 085. So that's the number we gave them, 265. So it would not be 086.
Okay,
Okay.
here's
so I'll-
my thought. After we rated jobs the second time, we said, say a new person came in, this would be what they would start at, the
Okay.
220.
Okay.
That's not what the position is now,
No.
but someone coming in new, this would be the rating.
Now, do you have a date on that at all?
Yeah, 2010, 28, 14.
14. Yes, I'd
And
have
I
to look.
signed it,
And it was 265.
no, 220. The
220.
one from '08 is 265, so I'm saying that's what the job,
Does it have confidential data in
no?
that?
No, no, confidential.
Do you have the numbers for education?
Oh, see,
for-
okay, so this one,
Okay.
I crossed it out, so I guess we never added that in at all.
For that number here.
Yeah,
Okay, check out the 265 one.
yeah,
See
it
what
didn't
that
didn't
says.
have it.
It didn't have it at all?
But I remember us talking about when we rated them, if they came down lower, it would be supposedly for
The next
the
person
next
coming
in.
person coming in.
Yeah, but this was as a result of this self-evaluation.
Okay,
Which was quite a bit higher than
right.
what we had scored it at. And,
Well, actually, that is what we scored it at.
what, the.
That number in orange, the orange number there? But I have a note over here,
But the 330,
so it must have been,
For the 330.
the 330 was the self-evaluation.
right. But I'm looking at the one white across, which is 265.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
so I will update that to what Mike has given us with his
That,
code here, because that's an actual of the 085, right?
mhm.
Mhm. So it's all
A
5,
5, and I'll cross out that,
yeah.
okay, because the 265 will stand. Now, they rated themselves a 330, and there's 3 areas there that we should look at. So, here's the latest one I pulled up, and, so it would be areas where
Judgment.
we'd have to look for judgment and see what it says and re-rate that. But I don't wanna do that right now, cause I was trying to get the numbers right.
Mhm.
You know, if we could possibly do that today.
Mhm.
And like I said, 10 of them would be good, because there is so many.
Yeah.
All right, so like I said, I pulled that up, cause that would be the next phase, would be to
Okay. So
review
that'll
that.
be one to check, yeah.
Okay, and, let's see,
What do we want next?
what do you have next? I could go.
I've got them in alphabetical
Oh, okay,
order.
that's fine, just let me know which the one's next on our sheet.
Building commissioner,
Yeah, okay,
And who is that?
I have no idea.
That's right, it went, it,
It's
because,
somebody new.
yeah,
I've
and
got-
we don't know what level they are at right now?
I've got 350, it's the same as this.
okay, so there's nothing in here that we know the name of the person per se, that would go by that?
No, it's
Was that the thing that,
part-time.
Matt sent?
gave us, right,
Yeah,
which
okay,
gives
so-
us the official grades, that's what I say, we wanna make sure the official grades
Well, it
correspond
would
to
be a
us.
name that we wouldn't
You
recognize,
wouldn't recognize?
and it would be a high-paying job.
Yeah, well, it's
And it was-
part-time.
But it was
So,
changed down to
yeah.
19 hours a week, when, what's her name left?
Part-time,
or-
yeah.
Well, see, I have here, which says full-time building
No,
commissioner.
it's not full-time
So it's not
anymore.
full-time anymore, it's part-time, okay.
So it's 125 now, so that's 250. That, okay, so that's the same idea that, oh no, that's the clerk. Principal clerk is 19 hours.
Mhm.
And the building commissioner is full-time, it says, but I don't think it is.
It's not, it's not, I know it's not.
because it's shared with 10 other towns or
Right.
something.
Something like
Right.
that, they split it,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so I'll update that to part-time, okay?
Mhm.
So, but what do we have for numbers on that? The last thing I have is a M2, and it was this, the reading was 350.
That's what I've got.
Okay, so we're all set with those,
Yeah.
okay. All right, so just have to take that
And that probably should be redone for the job description.
for
maybe.
part-time.
It's
But,
part-time, although the duties would be the same probably.
Okay, the next one, the principal clerk, 19 hours, limited part-time, I've
Now,
got
is
125,
I've got 170 on here.
I've got
I
125.
have one, yeah, 125 here.
Okay, so,
And who is the principal clerk?
I don't know her name. She's an English lady.
okay, what would it
Jane
be under?
left.
That's right, okay.
Okay, what would
Okay,
it be?
now wait a minute, his,
In the building?
okay,
finance,
so
treasurer.
I've got 125 as the score on February 2011. But then, on April 12th of 2016, I had 170. But I think there was,
Okay, let's
I
see if we
think
can
the
find the
principal
person.
clerk that had been there
Building
before was-
department, so
had
in-
taken
in-
on a lot of.
In Matt's paperwork, it should be under building, right?
Mhm.
Building department.
So is that the same administrative secretary that works under community development? Or is it somebody different with an English accent? Okay.
Building inspection. Would that be in there? Building commissioner? Mostly all step-ins. How about this person here, Jackie?
Yeah.
OA4?
No.
No, because this is OA1. Hmm. I'm gonna go, because it says under building inspection departments,
Oh,
241.
okay, if it's building, then that must be her. That's gotta be her.
All right, because then it says it's a OA4.
Is that
Okay.
what a 170 would be?
Okay, that's over here. 170. We have. Oh, over here. One.
Hmm.
And so that says 4. Okay, so that's a question, something's going on there, I don't know. And that says 170. And you have 170, right?
I have 170 for the last one.
Okay. And the date on that was what, April?
April 2016.
You think it might be that one there, which is. Right. Okay, now we've got, cable. Full-time, 205.
This is one, I've got 215.
Alright. Selectmen. See,
Oh, wait a minute.
I don't see
There's a
that.
newer one. Hold on, it says Gordon. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why I don't have this one first. It's 205.
Would they be paying him out of something else? Because I don't.
Well, they do,
Yes,
yeah, it's
yeah.
not in there because there's,
Oh.
it's the cable money.
Okay, so, so what is the last one you have?
205. So
So
that's
cable
okay.
coordinator 205 is fine? Oh, good, because I couldn't find it. All right,
And then the
cable
cable recording
recording
assistant.
assistant, which I wouldn't have in here.
I have
That, no, that's correct. that-
100.
Hmm?
Yes,
100? Okay,
and
that's
it's an
correct.
MSO, which
Okay.
means they're minimum wage, but
Okay.
not really because they're
The next
put
one
in
is
for 4 hours.
assistant clerk. Clerk's department assistant clerk, 190.
I've got community.
And I had that one in orange.
And I've got community
Clerk's office.
development first. Let me go down to town
Okay.
clerk. Nope, that's fine.
town clerk.
Two oh five.
205?
Clerk.
When, for what year? Because we've got 190 here in red.
Oh, wait a minute, 190, because that was with confidential, I guess, and we took it out.
Okay,
Yeah,
because
190.
they're at a OA
Yeah,
three.
190. Yep,
And that should be,
And that's basically with confidential, because 190 here, 190 here. Is OA two. Yeah, OA two is 190. So see how I have the note with the orange, and I put 200 to 244 is QA three, but that's what it is. So over here, they're paying, this is the person here, right?
Yep.
OA three, so they are paying them this. It's probably one of the ones that was like, that's the set one, because it was before, even though it's a, so I'll leave the yellow in the note there to say that, and you checked it, okay? Okay.
yeah, because when we had
When that check- yeah.
confidential stuff, it was 205, when we had confidential
Right.
in there.
So, no problem.
What's next?
Town engineer,
Community development,
at the end of community development, M5,
M3.
M3 we have. That's M5.
375?
Yeah. And so, M5,
Why do you have M5? It says M3 here.
because maths.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to get the right ones. Okay, M5, and that was 375.
Mm-hmm.
375, yeah, so I had to flip.
And I've got M3 written next to it.
Right. Okay. Management. And the number we have is 375, which comes out to M3. So M5. So yeah, messed up. 375. Doesn't make right sense.
375, M3, that's what I've got.
Oh, okay. M3, and it says M5 here.
Mine says M3 on here.
Yeah, but he says M5 here.
Yes.
Yes. So, question that. Okay. And what's the next one? The last
The
state
conservation agent,
Conservation agent, we have, 285,
yep.
and M3 I have here for
Okay, I had OA6.
Right.
OA6, well, they have an M3 here.
That's when he was full-time, I think, originally.
Yeah,
And then he went down to part-time. So that's why it's an OA6, but,
So
oh,
M3.
OA6 doesn't exist.
Okay, so that's another questionable one.
that one took us months to,
I don't think it's straightened out, yeah.
Okay, so the next one is, development, which is secretary, M4.
No.
Oh,
210.
OA4, I'm
Two-
sorry,
two.
OA4, right?
210? I've got OA3.
Yeah, it should be OA3.
Right, it's OA4. and
And she
that's-
had petitioned, and her numbers weren't as high as ours. Either.
So we're gonna leave the OA4 because that's what she is.
That's what
But it
she
should
is
be in
now,
OA.
yeah. But
Right.
a new person coming in
And should be
in
back-
OA3. And I don't know how anybody will ever,
Remember anything.
right, because we're not involved in anything. Okay, facilities manager, we're gonna skip that. And go-
Is there a municipal custodian?
Yeah,
Okay.
part-time.
Part-time?
I
So that's
don't know
what's-
who it is, but, Ricky is, but David, whatever his name is, Manning used to be it too for upstairs here. He was cleaning when the school was using the upstairs.
Manager, says building facilities committee.
I don't think I've got
I don't think I have anything.
For what?
well,
Building
custodian.
maintenance?
I don't have anything for custodian, I don't think.
Municipal custodian is PM1, it says rated ED plus experience.
Right, so when you combine them, so they sort of
Oh,
put that
okay.
together and they ended up with the 70.
I don't think I have a job description for that one.
I got building maintenance here, I got Patrick, is that
That's
the person?
Ricky.
Okay,
Yeah.
Ricky.
PM1, okay.
Wait a minute, municipal custodian. Okay, yeah,
PM1?
right there, the first one.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we're all set.
150.
That's
Yes,
good.
where am I? 150,
Okay, now. Director's
Finance
assistant.
committee, right?
Hmm?
We have finance committee?
A minute
Minute
taker.
taker?
And she is, does it for a lot of different things.
Anything? Minute taker, huh? And the finance committee.
I've got the town accountant right there. Oh, I've got the assistant to the town accountant.
No, this is,
I don't
the minute takers under finance committee.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
so under
Never mind.
finance director,
Oh, I'm
accountant.
a finance, I just made it a
committee.
whole department, which it is now.
Okay. Finance committee, minute taker.
I don't even know where my minute taker is.
All right, so this is,
Is OA.
oh, wait, one, that's the same thing then.
Yeah.
So we're all set with that.
Yeah.
And 115.
115.
Now we'll go to the financial department.
Okay.
Finance director.
All righty. That's a contract position.
Yeah.
The next one is assistant. We have, 120, OA
One.
1. So,
Assistant, okay, I had,
excuse me.
120, you're right.
But over here, I don't know who that one would be. Is it that one here? Mary Ray?
No, that's the minute taker, I
Okay,
believe.
how about this
Yeah,
Janice?
that's the assistant.
All right, then that says OA3. All right, so that's a question there. So, there's that. D02, D022.
You know, at one time it had been rated 165.
For which position?
So maybe that was again the same case where it's 165, although it is a new person since '09.
Which one is this?
Assistant to the town accountant. But we
Okay.
did have 165 once, and then it was, and I think, I could be wrong, but I think it was Jean herself that
Created or put
made it down lower.
Oh, really?
Well, this one over here, I noticed on the next page, is administrative assistant to the treasurer / collector.
That's different.
It's different, okay. Because remember all the terms keep changing around with the
Mhm.
financial
Mhm.
changes? That's why I didn't quite understand who's what. Okay. So,
So what's next?
I guess assistant to the treasurer.
Or is it assistant treasurer, which is a holdover from way back when, right?
Yeah.
And that says OA3. That's why I was wondering, because this one here says OA3. And then
Oh,
I go
administrative assist treasurer,
I
okay,
think treasurer collector, which
Yes,
isn't, is they,
200.
we don't do that anymore.
okay.
We don't do that anymore?
Well, we've got a treasurer and we've got a collector.
So, okay, that's questionable whether that exists.
Well, Yeah,
So whether the assistant exists, but the
Well,
treasurer collector exists, right?
there is an assistant treasurer, there is. Let me find it. Okay, assistant collector. You know,
I know, the way the terms are changing.
but the person that is the assistant collector, I think, works both the town clerk and, goes back and forth. At least
Mhm.
that's, we always did it that way. And, I'm not even sure if Pam's title is still tax collector.
No, assistant
It's assistant, okay.
tax collector, which is down there.
Okay, so if
So-
Pam's the assistant tax collector.
That's over here, that was
I
OA
have-
4.
I have 230.
Yeah.
DO
Yeah,
19.
230.
Mm-hmm. Are you at D 19?
Wait a minute, assistant, wait a minute, no.
No, no. Assistant
collector.
assistant tax
Yeah,
collector
collector,
was 19, right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
230. We got that.
So what happened to, D 18 and D
Well,
20?
now I've got it, and I've got 200 for it,
For which one?
18.
Is that
No,
principal
No,
assistant?
no, 17,
17?
Yeah.
Assistant
treasurer.
Is what, 230? Or,
I've got 200.
We had nothing on that one. This
Yeah,
number
I had-
017, right?
Yeah,
We have nothing.
I have OA3, 200.
Not the green, not the green one.
Right,
yellow.
okay,
Okay. That means we're missing it.
yeah,
So,
okay.
Is there,
I do have the job description.
for the assistant treasurer?
Mhm.
anything?
And did we rate it at all?
Yeah, I got 200, I have OA3.
Okay, so it's the same thing.
Well, above that, it says administrative assistant to the treasurer collector. There was a lot of terms that were
Oh,
being switched
200,
back,
okay.
yeah.
So that's it.
That's it up here, so it's-
That's it up here.
It's number, what does it say? Number 21?
Yeah, so there is no 17.
There's no 17,
It's going to be the one above it.
which is 21. And that is over here. So OA3. So.
Now, that was another thing we talked about is, like on the job description, putting the number, so we don't have to say
Right.
it's the.
Yes, and
It's
like I
this
said,
one.
it gets confusing because
Yeah.
of these terms are flipping back and
Right.
forth, and this one doesn't exist, but that one does, and they changed. That's what I said, we could just put that aside here, because I'm not sure who these, the titles of these people here, with here under the treasurer collector, and I've got a, let's see, an OA3 and an two OA3s under treasurer collector. So I have that one above, the administrative assistant treasurer collector OA3.
Mhm.
That's number 21,
Mhm.
and then I have, that's OA 4.
They should be the same, I would think.
No, I don't have any there, and then this assistant to the financial director says OA 3. So, I'm not sure what terms over, I want to put them on a hold right now, because I don't know if it's an assistant to the treasurer collector or assistant, because of the OA 3.
I think we're gonna be redoing all.
Well, as I say, odds are that we're gonna probably have to, like I said, start from fresh and
Yeah.
get some better input on what's going on.
Okay,
And for me to say the OA3 is under treasurer collector, so if I look under treasurer collector, I really don't have, I have the here, OA3, okay,
Yeah.
fine, that's the one I have, right? Except that one.
That's the way it says on the job description. Okay, principal assessor, I've got 335 M2, so that one's fine.
Yeah.
All right, except that, isn't it spelled principal as opposed to P-L-E?
But Pal,
P-R-I-N-C-I.
Oh, you have Pal there?
yeah, I have Pal.
Okay, well, on this one, it's P-L-E, so it should be
P-A-L?
P-A-L, yeah.
That's strange how that moved from that to that.
Right, and there is administrative assistant to the assessors. And I've got 225.
225?
Mm-hmm.
OA 4. Okay, now, on here, I don't know. Oh, A4. I get two A3s. There's an OA4 here.
It's this
Assessors.
person, it's this person.
This
right
person here, under
Yeah.
assessors.
here. Yep.
Okay, so this is number,
She's got only one there, we've got only four here, right?
so it's DO20, right?
Mhm.
So here, D,
Mhm.
O20. Okay. All right.
And I think that's,
And the assistant tax collector isn't full-time, it's part-time, because that's the one that's shared with the town clerk.
And I've got full-time here, so it's just,
Yeah,
so D.
and one of them is OA4 here, and then the other one, and I don't know if this gets confusing for payroll or whatever. And, the assistant clerk is OA3 here, and we said it should be an OA2. So, it's,
Why don't we put that aside and try to figure out what's going on?
them all aside.
Like I said, between these here, like I said, if I could identify, I mean, we all got one of these sheets. If we could identify what job number they actually are.
Oh, I
Come
can
back
do-
next
I
week.
can do that.
Yeah, come back next week and do that, because, like I said, the terms have changed so much here. So now we have
This was the
actuals.
handout that Matt
Matt-
gave us,
right,
okay, I'll
correct.
put that.
So if we go through and say, okay, this is D20, this is 24, this is whatever, next week, then say, okay, fine,
Okay.
now, is this the titles that
Okay.
they're using, and this is what they're gonna be. Okay, ladies, so. That would be so helpful, because like I said, he's giving us the actual data now, so trying to correct our information would be great. Continue from there. Okay? And like I said, I didn't expect to go more than 10 today because I figured it would be very confusing. Ooh, almost put that over. We'll do that.
I'll do that.
Okay, ladies. So next month, anyone have any idea when you care to meet? On a Thursday, 3:00?
Yeah, Thursday's better than Monday.
Yes. I know, I sort of had to squeeze it in because I was trying to get as much done as I could.
well, it looks like I'm free any Thursday.
Okay.
Not the first Thursday.
Okay.
How about the 12th?
About the what, 12? Okay, March 12th? Okay, March 12th, 3:00, right, next meeting. Okay, can I have a motion for
I'm gonna
adjournment?
make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.